part of that is all coordinated by the brain and spinal cord as early as 2 weeks. Now after 9 months, we get a miracle of a baby, and the baby's brain, and from till the day we were born till the day we die, the brain continues to send information down the spinal cord, out through the nerves, to every single organ in your body. Every organ, every tissue, every cell in your body is actually controlled by the brain through the nervous system. Your brain actually sends energy down the spinal cord. The spinal cord is kind of like a river. It sends energy down and out through the nerves to each and every organ in your body. And each and every organ is actually totally dependent on that energy to keep you alive and healthy. Does that make sense? Everybody following me so far? A good way to really appreciate how important that nervous system is if we follow the energy from your brain that goes to, let's just pick the heart for example. If we follow the energy from your brain that goes to your heart, if I take that nerve and I took a pair of scissors and I cut that nerve off, what would happen to your heart if I chopped that nerve off? The heart would die, right? Would that be our opinion or an absolute fact? Okay, well, that's a good point. Like you might say it might be a little bit dysfunctional. Let's put it another way. Like say this TV, if I took the power cord that goes to your TV and I cut the power off, what would happen to the TV? Would it work or would it just be dysfunctional? It just wouldn't work at all, right? If I took the nerve, if I took the nerve that goes to your eye and I cut the nerve, it'd just be dysfunctional. Would you stop see anymore? You wouldn't just see anymore, right? However, let's say I didn't cut the nerve, but instead I took the nerve and I put pressure on it. And now there's less energy coming from your brain getting to your heart. Now what would happen? It now would be dysfunctional, right? So your heart wouldn't be working. Say this is your heart working at 100%. You put pressure on the nerve. Now the heart's not actually working at 100%. Make sense? If I don't take that pressure off the nerve, what do you think happens to the heart function? Does it go back to 100% or actually get worse over time? It gets worse over time. Is that our opinion or an absolute fact? It's an absolute fact. That's just how it works, how the body works. These are just laws and principles that our body governs itself, okay? So what happens is, as many of you know, the nervous system is extremely sensitive and it's protected by bones called vertebrae. From the side view, you should have 3 curves, one in the neck, one in the mid-back, and one in the lower back. From the front, your spine is supposed to be straight up and down. However, we experience life, certain stresses in our life, like physical stress, emotional stress, even chemical stress. What happens is, the vertebrae in your spine, when you get an injury, they can actually shift out of alignment. Okay? When the vertebrae shift out of alignment, it can actually cause pressure on the nerves. When the vertebrae shifts out of alignment, put pressure on the nerve, that's called a subluxation. Great, everybody knows that, right? When a subluxation occurs, that can interfere with the energy that's flowing through the nervous system. When there's interference in the energy flowing through the nervous system, and the organs aren't getting the energy they need, the organs actually get weaker, degenerate, and actually develop disease over time. Does everybody follow me on that? Okay. So what I'm trying to explain is that the energy from your brain is essential for those organs to work. The interesting thing is when you have a subluxation in a particular part of your spine, it could actually cause other areas to weaken your spine, actually distort your posture, and then put more strain on the spinal cord, and now none of the energy can actually get to any of the organs in your body, and your overall health now is actually getting weaker, degenerate, and actually cause disease over time. Everybody following me there? So everybody can actually see how your posture has a direct influence on your overall health. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. So what happens is,